All right, let's dive into a world where the laws of physics, well, they're treated more like suggestions than actual rules. This is the story of hypercars. These are machines built not just to be fast, but to completely shred the rulebook on what a car can even be.
You know, we all get what a fast car is. We see them on the street, we hear that engine roar as they go by. They're exciting, they're powerful, and they represent a level of performance that, most of us can recognize.
But then there's a whole other level, a category so extreme, so exclusive, and so technologically bonkers that it needs its own name. This is the world of the hypercar, a place where the normal rules of automotive engineering, they just don't apply.
And that really brings us to the central question of this whole explainer. As we keep pushing materials, aerodynamics, and sheer power to their absolute extremes, are we actually getting closer to a wall? Or is that limit always just a little bit further down the road?
So, to understand where all this is going, we've got to look back at where this modern obsession really kicked off. Back in the early 2000s, a new kind of car showed up. It wasn't just an evolution, it was a total revolution in chasing the impossible.
So what is a hypercar, exactly? Well, it's not just about going fast. It's about being the absolute, undisputed pinnacle. We're talking super limited production runs, tech that feels like it was lifted from a fighter jet, and performance stats that honestly look like typos. A hypercar is basically a statement of what is possible when money is no object.
And if we're going to talk about that pinnacle, we have to start with the car that pretty much created the modern hypercar benchmark, the one that threw down a number so audacious it changed the entire game, the Bugatti Veyron.
Okay, now this is where it just gets insane. Just look at these numbers. An 8-liter quad-turbo 16-cylinder engine that makes over 1,000 horsepower. All that power creates an unbelievable amount of heat, which is why it needed, get this, 10 radiators to keep from melting itself into a puddle. The Veyron wasn't trying to be subtle. It was just an act of pure engineering brute force designed to bend physics to its will.
And this quote, it just nails the philosophy perfectly. The Veyron's goal was simple: be the fastest, most powerful production car on the planet. And the solution? Just throw an absolutely insane amount of money and engineering genius at the problem until it surrenders. It wasn't about being clever. It was about being overwhelmingly powerful.
So once Bugatti dropped this bombshell of pure, raw power, it really begged the question, what now? How do you even compete with that? Do you just try to add more power, or is there maybe another way to get to the top? And this is where the story gets really, really interesting. Two visionaries from two small independent companies stepped up with their own very different answers. This sparked a fascinating clash of philosophies. So on one side, you've got Christian von Koenigsegg. He's obsessed with pure innovation, creating brand new tech to hit that perfect power-to-weight ratio. And on the other side, you have a Horacio Pagani, who sees the car as a fusion of art and science, a rolling masterpiece where every single bolt is like a piece of jewelry. This just captures the Pagani spirit perfectly. For him, the beauty, the feel, the sheer emotion of the car is every bit as important as its top speed. A Pagani isn't just engineered, it's sculpted. It's meant to be an experience for all the senses, a moving work of art.
And here you see the polar opposite approach. Koenigsegg is a relentless innovator. He doesn't care about tradition at all. If he can invent a new kind of gearbox, a new engine design, or a wild new way to use carbon fiber to make the car faster and lighter, he's going to do it. It's this pure, scientific, almost ruthless pursuit of performance.
But right as this battle between power, art, and innovation was really heating up, a completely new force entered the ring. One that would, once again, completely rewrite the definition of performance: electrification.
This chart, this shows the next great disruption. The first bar there is the Bugatti Chiron, still one of the fastest gas cars ever built. But the bar right next to it, that's an all-electric hypercar, the Pininfarina Battista. It hits 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. That's not just faster, it's a completely different reality of speed, all thanks to something we call instant torque.
So how is that even possible? It's actually pretty simple. Electric motors give you 100% of their power the very instant you touch the pedal. There's no waiting for turbos to spool up or for the engine to hit the right RPM. It's just immediate, brutal acceleration that gasoline engines simply can't match. Plus, with fewer moving parts, it opens up a whole new world of design possibilities for companies like Pininfarina and Lotus.
And that brings us full circle. We've gone from brute force horsepower to this incredible battle of philosophies, and now we're in the electric age. So, what could possibly be next?
Where does this relentless pursuit of speed take us by, say, the middle of the century?
This timeline really sums up our journey perfectly. It kicked off with Bugatti setting the benchmark with just overwhelming force. Then Koenigsegg and Pagani came along and challenged that with innovation versus artistry. And now we're deep in the era of electric acceleration. So what's next? Well, that's a frontier of pure speculation and imagination.
I mean, we're talking about concepts that sound like they're straight out of science fiction today. Things like a chassis that's 3D printed from some exotic alloy, aero surfaces that can change their shape in milliseconds, and even AI systems that actively help the driver squeeze every last drop of performance out of the car. The car won't just be a machine anymore. It'll be a dynamic, intelligent partner.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. In a future where autonomous cars might be common and that insane acceleration is available to a lot more people, will that simple raw number of top speed still be the ultimate prize? Or will the very definition of a hypercar evolve once again into something we can't even imagine today? The race, let me tell you, is far from over.